And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. We have a very important segment here with some very important people who make a difference in children's lives. Now, Foster Care Advocacy Center is hosting a toy drive, and they need your help to provide for the children out there. Joining us now, staff members there, Adam Cheney, Tara Green, Dr. Chantrell Charles, and Matilda Saragosa. And Matilda, you're regularly here.
Yeah.
We want to thank you all for joining us. So here on The Factor Uncensored, let's start with you, Dr. Charles. Tell us what you guys do at your agency and how you make a difference in children's lives here in the city of Houston.
So we're the Foster Care Advocacy Center, one of the only nonprofit law firms that operate with a multidisciplinary approach. There's attorneys. I'm the social worker. Matilda is the only parent partner here in Texas that represent children and parents in child protection matters. Mm-hmm. We basically take a holistic approach, provide quality legal representation, as well as supporting them, helping them navigate the child welfare system.
And Tara, how difficult is that system to navigate for families who have never been a part of it? It's like learning to swim. All of a sudden you're thrown into the water and you have to deal with the foster care system and you don't know anything about it.
So we're hoping to be those lifeguards for those families who are swimming in the deep end. It's impossible. It's impossible for me as an attorney sometimes, and I've trained in this area for 10 years. And so what is important for the kids in child welfare system who have attorneys to get their voices heard. That's a lot of what we do, is making sure that when we're appointed for a child, they get their voice heard. When we're for a parent, we're protecting their constitutional rights for their kids. We're making sure that the agency is not taking their kids without really good reasons, and that's why we have Matilda to walk hand in hand with those parents. And we've been extremely successful for our parent clients. Almost 100% of the time, they either get reunified with their kids or they get their child placed with a family member without termination. The kids that we represent have shorter times in foster care, better well-being measures, and placement with family more often than the attorneys that don't have a Dr. Charles by their side.
And Matilda, how difficult is it for these families when they're torn apart, ripped apart, whether it may be state services or some other entity that breaks them up? You have to talk to them. You have to deal with that. How difficult is it talking to these families, a mother, a father, who may have lost their child? And you're looking in their eyes and they're looking for hope.
Well, I mean, I come with an understanding. I come with a lived experience. So some of the things that we discuss and we talk about, I resonate with it automatically because I've had that same pain. I understand those tears.
Well, tell us a little bit about your backstory and what you had to deal with so we can understand how you are able to help others.
Okay, so I come with a lived experience. I had issues with substance abuse. I had issues with prostitution, and my children were kept with my parents, who were the caregivers. So when I meet a parent, I totally understand what they're dealing with and what they're feeling because I one time had shared the same experience. So when I'm talking to them and we discuss things, I'm always looking for the underlying issues, like how can I better help this?
And your story's important. You just dropped your microphone. Let me put this back on. It's live TV, but it's important that people hear you. Now, Matilda, when we talk about losing your children, though, it was a little bit better for you because your children were there with your parents.
Correct.
And they were close, and you had the opportunity to at least see them, know where they are. But there's some parents who lose their children and they go into the system and they never see them until they're able to get them again.
So that's where I come in. So we discuss how can we better serve you? What is it that we're needing to do? And that's when the family plan of service comes about, right? And so helping them understand, what does that exactly mean? What does that entail? What are the acronyms? There's so much that goes on inside of that. And if they don't understand it, then they're most likely going to say, I don't want to have anything to do with it. I'm able to explain it to them, walk with them, teach them along the way what needs to be done in order to get these children placed back into your care, or at least with the family member, so you can have more access to them. Walking with them and helping them understand it, I can uncover underlying issues, and I feel like this: if we don't address it all, then we're going to probably wind up seeing CPS come back later on down the line. So we focus on longevity. We want to preserve the family unit, we want to keep them whole, and we want to keep CPS out of their lives for the rest of their lives.
And Adam, what is it like looking to the eyes of hopelessness? Parents who are thinking, I may not see my kids again.
Yeah, I mean that's what we want to prevent, right? And if that child does have to be removed from that parent, we want to get them back into that community of origin as quickly as possible. If they can't go back home with that parent, we want them to go back home with grandma or maybe dad or maybe cousin or auntie or whoever it is. And so we kind of, our hope is that we can give hope to those parents who, as you started with, have no idea what they're doing. They don't know how to navigate the system. It's complex. Right. I mean, I try to explain what we do to people all the time, and it's extremely complex and hard to understand, and sometimes I don't even understand what we're doing. I'm neither a lawyer nor a social worker, but that's what we do. We stand in the gap to offer hope to these families to know that their kid will either come home soon and safely or be in the best possible situation that we can find them.
And Dr. Charles, for those who may be wondering, once a parent loses that child, maybe from accusations of neglect or actual neglect, and they do everything right according to the state or the system, how long before reunification occurs?
Well,
or is it case by case?
It's case by case. Typically, reunification, they have 12 to 15 months to work their family plan of service. And if they make progress, then they'll start the reunification progress.
And so, Tara, for those who may not have the resources necessary to embark on this journey of getting their children back, going through the court system, are there any programs out there? Is there any help out there for those parents?
So you only get an attorney court appointed to you once your children are removed and if you're indigent. And so something that we've been really focusing on is how do we help those parents before CPS comes and takes your kid when you're the most vulnerable, but also when it's the most expensive. Filing into family court is $300. That's cost prohibitive for many families. And an investigation defense before you can get a court appointed attorney is very expensive. Yeah. And so we've started offering those services pro bono. So if there's someone who CPS comes and knocks on their door, we can help them navigate that. If there's an auntie or a grandma who needs a court order so that mom can go to rehab or go to jail or whatever, we can help that auntie and that grandma get that. And if there's a dad or a mom who is not part of the CPS case at all and needs a protective order or primary custody, we can help them. So there are ways to navigate around the system instead of through the system that are complicated, that are expensive, but we're really helping them do that.
Now you guys are trying to raise toys and we're coming to you, the public, for that. So any one of you can jump in here. What do people have to do to be a part of that toy drive?
Yeah, they can go to FC, well, you've got the flyer right there on the screen. Excellent. Yeah, so they can go to fcactexas.org and find out more. There's also an Eventbrite page. Social media is probably the easiest way to find out what we're doing, where we're doing it, when we're doing it. We got a link tree on our Instagram where you can find all the information. December 17th, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. We're partnering with Imogen Venues. Some people might not recognize that name. Think if you're a Houstonian like me, Stampede and Escapade. You know where it's at. Yeah. You know where it's at. So come and join us. We need more toys, and it's going to benefit all of our clients. We're going to get as many there as possible and hand out as many toys as possible. So we have an Eventbrite page and we have an Amazon wish list. So you might be thinking, man, I really want to help. I really want to get a toy, but what do I go get? We already have that provided for you. If, again, follow us on social media, go find the link, and you can pick a toy.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us here on the